My kitchen has always been my sanctuary, a place where I feel most at peace. It's more than just a room, it's a space filled with memories and the aroma of home-cooked meals. A place of comfort and family stories, where laughter echoes and traditions are passed down through generations. It's the heart of our home. I thought I knew its secrets, every nook and cranny, every hidden shelf. Especially after years spent learning from centenarians, absorbing their wisdom and time-tested culinary practices. In places like Okinawa and Sardinia, where food is not just sustenance but a way of life, a key to longevity. Yet, back home I felt a creeping fatigue, a persistent weariness that seemed to defy explanation, that coffee and sleep couldn't fix. It was a nagging feeling that something was amiss, a puzzle I couldn't quite solve. Was the problem hiding in plain sight, right in my pantry? Could the answer to my fatigue be lurking amongst the everyday items I took for granted? I scanned the familiar boxes and jars, the staples that had become part of my routine, modern staples I'd never questioned. These were the items I reached for without a second thought, the convenience foods that filled my shelves. I'd added blue zone foods to my diet, embracing the principles of longevity and healthy eating. But what about the things I hadn't eliminated? What about the hidden ingredients and subtle saboteurs that were still present in my daily meals? Longevity isn't just about what you add. It's not solely about incorporating superfoods and nutrient-rich ingredients. It's about what you subtract. It's about identifying and removing the elements that detract from your health and well-being. My quest became an investigation, a deep dive into the contents of my kitchen. Not in a remote village, but in my own kitchen. The answers, I suspected, were closer than I thought. I started noticing the automatic choices, the ingrained habits that guided my hand. The pour, the unconscious addition of oils and sauces. The sprinkle, the casual dusting of seasonings and flavor enhancers. The default, the go-to ingredients and snacks that were always within reach. It was in these unconscious habits that the answers were hidden, masked by familiarity and convenience. My kitchen, my trusted ally, was about to reveal some uncomfortable truths, forcing me to confront my assumptions and reevaluate my choices. This journey wasn't about blame, about assigning fault or dwelling on past mistakes. It was about awareness, about shedding light on the hidden corners of my culinary world. I wanted to know if my healthy habits were quietly undermining my vitality, if the foods I considered beneficial were actually contributing to my fatigue. The answers I found were simpler, more fundamental than I anticipated, and more shocking, more impactful than I could have ever predicted, than I ever imagined. My kitchen was about to undergo a transformation, and so was I. My morning coffee ritual felt harmless, a simple pleasure to kickstart the day, until I really looked at it, dissecting each component with a critical eye. That daily spoonful of creamer or sugar wasn't just a treat, a little indulgence to sweeten the taste. It was a concentrated dose of refined sugar, the very first thing my body was forced to process each and every day. A rude awakening indeed. I realized this sweet deceiver was everywhere, lurking in the shadows of my supposedly healthy choices. Even in healthy yogurts, marketed as nutritious and beneficial. An instant oatmeal, a breakfast staple for so many. Even bread, the foundation of countless meals. This wasn't the natural sugar in fruit, the kind our bodies are designed to utilize, but added sugar, an artificial enhancement. Something our bodies simply aren't built to handle in such concentrated amounts, especially not on an empty stomach. Especially first thing in the morning when our systems are most vulnerable. I thought of the people of Nicoya, Costa Rica, one of the world's blue zones, whose savory breakfasts, rich in nutrients and whole foods, fuel them for hours, sustaining their energy levels throughout the day. My sugar-laden ritual, by contrast, was doing the exact opposite. It set me up for a crash, a predictable plummet in energy, and a vicious cycle of cravings that would plague me all day long. The realization was startling, a sudden and unwelcome awakening. My harmless habit was a Trojan horse, cleverly disguised as a comforting routine, smuggling a metabolic disruptor, a silent saboteur, right into the heart of my day. It wasn't just one spoonful, a negligible amount, easily dismissed. It was the cumulative effect, the slow and steady accumulation of damage, year after year, compounding the problem. This sweet deceiver was the first enemy I identified, the initial culprit in my quest for sustained energy and well-being, hiding in plain sight, right there in my seemingly innocuous morning routine. It was the silent architect of my mid-morning fatigue, the unseen force behind my afternoon slump. I had invited it in every single day without a second thought, a mindless habit I'd never questioned. The comfort I craved, that fleeting moment of sugary bliss, was quietly undermining my energy, stealing my vitality. It was time to see my morning ritual for what it really was. Not a harmless indulgence, but a carefully constructed trap. What's the harm in a little sugar? The science is clear and sobering. Refined sugar causes a spike in blood glucose, forcing your pancreas to pump out insulin. Do this daily and your cells become resistant. Insulin resistance, the gateway to age-related diseases. It's like knocking on a door so often the person inside stops answering. Sugar lingers in your bloodstream, causing damage and chronic inflammation. The fire that accelerates aging. I remembered a woman in Loma Linda whose treat was a handful of dates. Fiber-rich, slow to digest, and gentle on the body. Our modern diet strips away that natural wisdom, flooding us with concentrated sugar. This constant metabolic stress damages blood vessels, the brain, even the skin. That daily sugar habit isn't just about weight, it's about lifespan. It's a slow erosion of resilience for a fleeting moment of sweetness. The trap? It feels good now, but it mortgages your future health. The real cost of sugar is paid over decades. It's a threat hiding in plain sight. Next, I turned to the fats in my kitchen, especially that big bottle of vegetable oil. It looked healthy, but I started questioning the story I'd been told. The problem isn't fat itself, it's the type and processing. Vegetable oils like soybean, corn, and canola are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Our bodies need some, but our modern diet is flooded with them, throwing our internal balance off. Too many omega-6s promote inflammation, while omega-3s, found in fish and walnuts, calm it. Centenarians in places like Icaria use olive oil, rich in anti-inflammatory compounds. That clear golden oil in my pan was fueling chronic inflammation, not health. We thought we were making a healthy swap, but we didn't know the full story. These highly processed oils, extracted with chemicals and heat, create a new, insidious problem. The heart-healthy oil was another enemy in disguise. It was quietly contributing to the aches, pains, and diseases of aging. Sometimes the biggest threats are the ones we use every day. Chronic inflammation isn't like a cut that heals, it's a silent, smoldering fire. Fueled by excess omega-6s from vegetable oils, it damages your body over years. Imagine your immune system as firefighters, constantly on false alarms, never resting. Eventually, the city, your organs and brain, suffers. Blue zone diets are naturally anti-inflammatory, rich in olive oil and whole foods. They avoid processed oils, keeping their omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in check. This hidden inflammation explains why so many feel achy and tired despite eating right. That cheap bottle of oil is a primary fuel for this internal fire. Swapping it out is a powerful way to lower inflammation and slow aging. Sometimes the simplest changes have the biggest impact. The third enemy was the most beloved soft, white bread. It's everywhere, sandwiches, toast, comfort food, but white bread is a nutritional ghost, stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left is pure starch, digested like sugar, spiking blood sugar and causing crashes. That innocent sandwich sets you up for an energy slump and cravings. In blue zones, bread is made from whole grains or fermented as sourdough, making it easier to digest and gentler on blood sugar. Our industrial bread is a far cry from the nourishing loaves of the past. We traded nutrition for convenience and shelf life. The result? A food that fills us up but leaves us starving for real nutrients. The white loaf is a symbol of how far we've strayed from ancestral wisdom. It's time to rethink what we call bread. Refined grains do more than spike blood sugar, they rob us of nutrition. Removing the bran and germ strips away fiber and essential nutrients. What's left is empty starch, a culinary illusion. This lack of fiber harms your gut microbiome, the foundation of long-term health. Blue zone centenarians have diverse, healthy guts thanks to fiber-rich diets. Modern bread skips traditional fermentation, making it harder to digest and less nourishing. Many blame gluten, but often it's the lack of real, whole ingredients. That sandwich isn't just empty calories, it undermines your gut and your health. We've engineered bread into something that works against us. The solution? Return to real, whole, living foods. Identifying these three common dietary enemies isn't a cause for discouragement. It's actually incredibly empowering. It means you've pinpointed specific areas where you can make positive changes to support your health and well-being. Remember, the goal isn't perfection or a complete lifestyle overhaul overnight. Instead, focus on consistent progress through small, deliberate swaps that you can realistically maintain over time. For every dietary enemy you identify, there's almost always a nourishing and delicious alternative waiting to be discovered. It's about finding those substitutes that satisfy your cravings while supporting your health goals. First, let's tackle the sweet deceiver. To retrain your palate and reduce your sugar cravings, start by consciously skipping the added sugar in your beverages and snacks. Instead of sugar, try adding a sprinkle of cinnamon for natural sweetness, or opt for unsweetened oat milk in your coffee or tea for a creamy texture without the added sugars. When it comes to yogurt, choose plain, unsweetened varieties and add your own fresh berries for a burst of flavor and antioxidants. For breakfast, shift your focus from sweet to savory options. Consider incorporating beans, whole grains like quinoa or oats, or eggs into your morning meal for sustained energy and essential nutrients. Next on our list is ditching the golden oil. Replace commonly used corn and soybean oils with extra virgin olive oil for most of your cooking needs. Olive oil is rich in healthy monounsaturated fats and antioxidants. For cooking methods that require higher heat, use avocado oil or coconut oil, but do so sparingly, as they have different fat profiles. Making this simple swap can significantly lower inflammation in your body and boost your intake of heart-healthy fats, contributing to improved cardiovascular health. Finally, it's time to say goodbye to the white loaf. When choosing bread, opt for 100% whole grain varieties or traditional sourdough bread, which is often easier to digest. If you can't easily find good quality bread, explore alternatives like whole grain tortillas for wraps or sandwiches, or even use crisp lettuce wraps for a lighter option. Alternatively, simply enjoy a vibrant salad packed with vegetables and lean protein, or a nourishing soup filled with fiber-rich ingredients. Beyond bread, make a conscious effort to reduce your consumption of refined flour in all its forms, including pasta, crackers, and pastries. Instead, prioritize whole, unprocessed foods like sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, and quinoa, which are packed with nutrients and fiber. While these changes may seem simple and straightforward, their cumulative impact on your overall health and well-being can be truly profound. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just start by incorporating one small, manageable swap into your daily routine. Over time, these seemingly small habits will add up, paving the way for a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life. With a few simple adjustments, your kitchen can be transformed into your greatest ally in the pursuit of a healthier and happier you. My kitchen investigation began with unease and ended with clarity. Added sugar, processed oils, and refined grains aren't just ingredients. They're the pillars of a diet at odds with our biology. Seeing them is the first step to disarming them. The power to live longer and healthier comes from daily choices at home. Your kitchen can promote disease or cultivate vitality. The choice is yours. Curate your environment for health, just as Blue Zones do. Think of this as a permanent upgrade, not a diet. You're creating your own Blue Zone, right at home. These swaps aren't deprivation, they're gifts: more energy, less inflammation, a sharper mind, and more healthy years. Align your habits with the world's longest-lived people. Start your own kitchen investigation. Look for hidden enemies and make conscious choices. The journey to a better life starts in your kitchen, with your next meal. You have the power to write a healthier, happier ending.